For more, let's cross to Istanbul. Yoruk Isik is a non-resident scholar at the Middle East Institute. Thank you for speaking with us here on France 24.
Of course, Francois, my pleasure.
Lots to unpack in what our own Catherine Norris-Trent has been reporting. First off, let's try to cut through the fog of war over the conflicting claims here. Have you parsed together any evidence of whether or not these promised deliveries of Harpoon missiles are making a difference when it comes to Snake Island?
Yes, I think yesterday's attack was system, and it's really on the Twitter, on the open sources. It started as Harpoon, but very likely there are small evidences now. I'm seeing that it might be a British-made Brimstone, more than a Harpoon. Maybe Harpoons are not fully in line yet. So. But we are not really sure, but it looks like a Brimstone to me. But they did some damage on the, although they couldn't really take back the island. A Panzer system, I think, was destroyed. That's really big. Several trucks, vehicles, and Russians lost their lives, Russian soldiers.
All right, so there is damage that was inflicted, but it doesn't look at this point like the Ukrainians can actually take back Snake Island.
I think the goal is, of course, taking back the Snake Island, because Snake Island is in a very strategic spot. If anyone looks at the map, the Snake Island is key to for Russians to maintain the Odessa blockade. If without Snake Island, most likely they won't be able to do it. And also, besides the Snake Islands, that's what we hear from Katherine's report. Also, these jack-up drills, what Russians appropriated back in the original invasion in 2015, the Chornomor Naftogaz's two rigs, Petro Hodovonets and Ukraina. And they turned them into, I usually call them for a colorful explanation for the viewers to understand, really like some structure you will see in a Mad Max movie. They arm them, they put sonars on them, they put radars on them. There is occasionally we see Spetsnaz. They became this armed structures, and de facto acting like additional islands. So one of them was like 60 kilometers east of the Snake Islands, Zimny Islands, and that is the area between the island and where the rigs are, and are key for the to blockade the Odessa. That's where the international maritime transit route is passing. To the west of the island, it's too shallow, closer to the Romanian waters and to the entrance to the Danube. So the traffic passes between the island and the rigs. So if Russia is going to be able to maintain the blockade, they have to hold on to the island. But as we see, more these Western missile systems are coming online, it's going to be very hard, because they just lost a very valuable another asset, almost like very new offshore tug, and it was one of their good tugs. So it seems like they are getting haunted there, and this is the second time, almost the same place where Moscow was sunk. They lost another ship, so it's going to be harder for them to hold on to this.
It's going to be harder for them to hold on, you say. So the Ukrainians can loosen that Russian blockade, but of course, between loosening the blockade and being able to export goods, in particular cereal and grains, that's a whole nother story.
Exactly. That is true. I think at that point, if they can if they can establish another Ukrainian base there, if they can put some missiles, like some of these missiles, etc., on the Snake Island, again as a Ukrainian island, then it will shift. That will be a major step, because imagine like what they are doing right now, only from the land-based assets. If they come into the Black Sea that much, then the route, even by the Ukrainian armed forces, it will be, maybe they can from others, and or they will be their ability. Russian Navy will increase in such significant way that the Russians will think twice to maintain this blockade. And anyway, I think, Russians are playing to the time. I think they are playing to the time that if the, in quote, let's say the Western world can maintain their resolution to support Ukraine. They are, as we discussed this on France 24 before, that they are weaponizing the food issue. Like the food issue is key right now. In the next 2-3 months is the key moment, because if they can maintain the blockade next 3 months, that's the amount of time they need to start their violence in different parts of the world because of food transportation issue. So maybe in their mind, they don't care if if they can maintain it for next 2-3 months, it will serve their purpose.
Many thanks, Yoruk Isik,